All right. Hey, everyone. This is Granblue Radio. This is episode 365. It is the 3rd of May in Japan. It is the end of Golden Week. And so we are at the tail end of just a bunch of things that they usually do every year to try and get us to play and, at least log in during Golden Week. Um, and so, anyway, let's get into it, DJ, shall we?
Yep.
So, after the event, which is a very well received event, by the way. I liked it a lot. I think uh, it had a lot of things going for it on all fronts, really. I don't know about you, DJ. I know you're inclined to like certain parts of it more than others.
It was fun.
Yeah, but we got new characters out of it. We got a new Kolulu. She is no longer dressed in rags. She actually gets to wear human clothing.
Oh, my trash can daughter.
Literally came to live in a dumpster, and then after living in the dump for a while,
Worked the
worked
Coliseum.
in an underground fighting ring, and now actually is wearing like clothing that a human should wear.
I mean, she can afford more than just soup now.
It's true. So, um, Kolulu's role originally was just to press tally ho as many times as possible while at low health. That was the dark one. The water one has a backline passive that makes her still usable to this day. And so for her new Earth version here, they're just like, why don't we give her both? um,
There's one big difference between those two versions of this one, though.
what's that?
She can't force herself low.
She can, because of how skill 2 works. She can force herself to 20% if she wants to. And so that's where we'll start, actually, is tally-ho style. So she got 5 hits of earth damage. She has stackable debuffs on that button. It eats 40% of her max HP to end its cooldown if it's available.
So it's not one of those ones that counts as a 0 turn cooldown. So it's good for, say, example, casting a lot of nukes with a certain invoker.
It also counts toward hitting, 4 or more if you're willing to use a potion on it, which, a certain other evoker will just constantly feed you if you want. Then you can get multiple debuffs in a turn. You can get multiple hit count things. Also, if she happens to have 5 crests, it's actually 10 hits and 4 debuffs. So, And also, yeah, so here's the CA.
Yeah, I missed that part where it says it consumed 40%.
Yeah, so that leads to some really funny videos, DJ. So Tomo of the new Tomo combo video thing was just like, all right, everybody. Uh, so Tomo went into, I believe it was Agostia with the Ascendant Prayer that lets you use as many elixirs as you want. And just by pressing tally-ho style, and after pressing it twice using an elixir, he finished it in quote-unquote 1 turn. And by 1 turn, we mean it took
1 turn with a lot of elixirs.
It was 31 elixirs is the exact number. So, I mean, that's not the reasonable option. The reasonable option is that you can use a green potion on her and you can get a few extra ones out of it. You can turn green potions, like I said, that Earth is very good at creating, into damage and debuffs. And that's even before you get into the part where, she wants to be a crest character. Especially since she's got the supplement that her water version has. And she has the, if she is at low health, which you can do by pressing tally host twice, then she does it again. And she guaranteed triple attacks on the turns where she's in red health too. The other ways that she activates tally-ho style, if she CAs, then it comes off of cooldown if it was on cooldown at all. And she also gets her skill 3, which gives her a crest. It gives her...
keeps her alive.
Yeah, it gives her how much defense?
100%.
Okay. It gives her a shield,
3,000.
and then it takes a debuff off of her. And then the last thing that she does is skill 1. There is no way to cheat this cooldown compared to the other two.
To be fair, it's 7-5.
Yeah, it's 5 turns of unremovable attack up, skill
Normal
up.
attack.
Oh, okay. Normal attack isn't anything to write home about, but it's fine. The rest of this is what you're doing this for.
50% skill damage up, 20% skill cap, and 50k supplemental skill damage.
And then her passive is what, 30k?
20.
20k. So she gets 70k skill supplemental on a character who does usually 10 hits of skill damage when she presses a button, and another 10 hits when the turn passes while she's in red health. So, yeah, she does a lot. And a lot of that is just damage and debuffs.
Yeah, the shield will help with keeping her from dying,
Mm-hmm.
of course. Yeah, no, solid good.
Yeah, and once again,
Looking at other like characters that have crests, it's not that great in Earth, really.
yeah. Earth Crest's team was like the Alchemists. It was Cagliostro technically uses them, like but it isn't a very like good use of them.
Like
Magisa is
we have
really good.
supplemental skill damage and
Mm-hmm.
no one to use it on.
Yeah. Magisa does big hits of skill damage rather than multi-hit skill
And
damage.
yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, the alchemists use theirs on autos.
Auto attacking. So it's like,
Yeah.
and then Yugu exists.
Hers are on defense.
It's just that
Because
you don't want to heal enough because
yeah, because she wants to get to the better version of Ziggurat.
which gives you a shield and everything,
Yeah.
but
Not really synergistic with what we're looking at with Kolulu.
we'll see you next Earthcrest character, Kolulu.
But she will sit in the back line for any Mana Diver team in Earth. So there's that. Or she'll be in the
Well,
front line
when
of
your
the
when
Mana
your
Diver Earth team.
synergy is main character, we need better synergies.
Fair enough. But yeah. Alright. So that's Kolulu. Let's go talk about Chloe then. Your girl.
I actually like to talk about how her weapon is literally just enmity and amber hearts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool. We're still here.
They didn't bother 4-starring it. They're just like, this is here because it is a spear and we put a ribbon on it. Like a really big ribbon and a scarf.
It's very fashionable.
It is very fashionable. Speaking
Anyway,
of very
see you in
fashionable.
2 set price tickets from now, Kolulu.
Because your next, well, two from now, yeah. The next one after that, like, Chloe won't be available yet. But she'll be there also in 2 surprise tickets.
Yeah, I just have to hope I get one of them.
Yeah. All right, so here's Chloe. Where do you want to start, DJ?
Adorbs.
Adorbs. So her mechanic is that she has 3 adorbs to start the fight. While she has at least 1 adorb, then she will always multi-attack.
50% boost to triple attacks is that second part.
And then she also gets CA reactivate as long as she has 1. And the way she's designed, she will end turn 1 with at most 3, but at least 1. And then you want that in order for her to CA, and then reduce the cooldowns of the things that use up her adorbs in order for her to activate my favorite skill name in Granblue Fantasy. That's my goat. She makes a reference.
What happens when you goat?
So when someone is goated, she swaps out with a sub ally. Unlike the other swap, like certain swap outs that leave a limited time buff, this swap is permanent. So it's kind of like her SR Summer version, yeah? Who does this? It's SR Wind version, where she swaps out with somebody and gives them buffs. It's 5 turns, only, but it gives 600% defense. 600% defense.
Yeah.
But also double attack and triple attack.
100% DA, 50% TA.
Debuff resistance up, which I believe should be 100.
It's effectively immunity.
Yeah. Charge bar each turn, so uplift.
It's uplift.
And also hostility way up. Oh,
See that guy?
yeah,
That guy
yes.
over there.
Hit this one who I've given 600% defense to. It
Yeah,
also leaves.
if
Yeah,
only you give him your amplify.
yeah. So you hand over also a shield, which I think was it 10?
It's 10k.
Yeah. And um, as your reward for finally getting to the point where she has 0 adorbs left, the one turn of assassin uncapped autos. This doesn't give double strike, unlike, for example, Ray when she swaps or anything. But I mean, and also, like I said, after this thing ends, she stops giving the buff and she does not come back up front in order to swap again. So it is a very specific length of fight that this is designed for, where you turn 1, you do serve in the look, you use up one of her adorbs. Everybody gets multi-attack, everybody gets hype, and everybody gets amp. You do another adorb for everyone to have debuff immunity, dark attack, and strength. And then you just try and CA on her as many times as possible. So around turn, 5 or so? You can pop one of these skills again and then swing her to the back.
Yeah, because with her 50% natural TA, and the Servant Look gives you 50% TA. You will you're going to TA unless you have TA down on you, or you're fighting Lumi.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, a very specific Lumi at that.
Right.
But so you should assume that you are able to get at least 2 TAs while Servant Looks up.
Mm-hmm.
If
So
not, you
yeah.
have 50% anyways. You flip back a coin.
So around turn 6, she'll swap to the back. Someone will come in, do tons of damage for 1 turn, do good damage for another 4 turns, and then just be a frontline
Exist.
character.
It
Just
exists.
continue to exist. Yeah. So this is a very specific time frame, like a timing window. And the most common place for timing windows like this is in Unite and Fight, which is coming next month.
Yeah, that person also has a lot of hatred on them right now. And
Mm-hmm.
so, but they have a 10k shield. So that makes me sad that they have a 10k shield. Because
Because
I
you
was
want
going to give that to Manamel.
and
But
you
she's
want
not going to take
Manamel. Yeah,
damage.
you want her to take a very specific amount of damage at a very specific pace, so that she deals, 13 million or something like that, silly amounts of damage. And then, yeah, all right. I've seen people give this to Vikala because Vikala just dodges all of these things, and she works with the hype. I've seen people also just have Vikala and um, Chloe on the same team on the front line, and then switch to a different like beat stick in the back as well. Considering that she does work with hype, she enhances hype, she extends hype, and so you can get to Vikala skill 4 much more quickly with Chloe. And so that is also a good pairing.
Other things to note is that
Mm-hmm.
if she is brought back to the front line somehow, Goda goes away
Okay.
because she's not cheering them on. She's in the front now.
Right, right, right.
Uh, have you ever tried Street King?
I've ever tried what?
A Street King? It'd be
Oh,
funny to give yourself being goaded.
that that sounds amazing, actually. That's my goat. Me. I'm my goat.
Yeah, you just also have to make sure that Nier doesn't die if you bring Nier in
Mm-hmm.
in that time frame, which is really
Right.
hard. Actually, she actually will die before that happens. I think.
As long as you don't press a button, she should be fine. You
How
have
much
to
does skill 4 take?
skill 4 costs her, I believe, 4 or 5 of them. Let me make sure. It costs her 4. So she'll go down to 9. That's still 5 turns, as long as you don't press a button on her. And
Yeah, you just need to find a way to for Chloe to actually get there actually on turn 6.
mhm.
Or you could just delay your streaking shit. So
Yeah, true.
it's so cool.
That's that sounds
You can do stupid things.
that sounds really fun. I remember when people were doing silly like swap out things with the MC in order to have freaking Summer Vicala in slot 1 while your MC is also out there. So um, there were a bunch of shenanigans being done there in order for Vicala's CA to go off and give double strike to 3 characters instead of 2.
Yeah,
So
and to note is that what is it? By the time Nier dies the second time, your goatee should be gone anyways.
mhm. All right.
These are stupid things I think of at night when I don't have a character.
I mean, we approve of Granblue science in this call. The weapon here pretty much has no future, so we're just not going to worry about it for years. It's Fandango and Mystery. There's not really much to say about it other than we now
No,
know
it gives
that
hype though.
true,
She
true.
can she can extend hype. We didn't even talk about her skill 1 and skill 2.
Oh yeah, huh? Her
Well, we
actually,
talked about skill 2. We did talk about that. So using an adorb actually gives to everybody.
yes, we
And
did.
skill 1, you get damage amplified if you use an adorb.
Yep. But yeah, this is just really fun.
It also makes your timings really funny because she's gonna do Surgeon Look, then she's gonna give herself Strength, Dark Attack, and Veil, and then leave.
Mhm. Yeah.
She doesn't transfer her buffs.
Yeah, she doesn't bunny swap like that. She does not give you them the buffs. She gives them a unique set of buffs and not the ones that she has. And then the last thing is that she also provides like the Sebastian refresh, so it's 350 a turn. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever. And also 5% light damage reduction, which is significant because there are 2 very good characters in Dark who switch the damage you take to light. So
Yep. The damage reduction came from her SR version from
yeah,
Summer,
5%. It's
and passive heal is not that bad anyways.
mm-hmm.
You'll take those.
Yeah. But anyway, so this is just really solid. I like it. I am a little sad that she doesn't work quite as well with Lowain. I was like looking for um, particular synergies there. The only reason I think of that is because of that one time they did regional GBF merchandise for parts of Japan, and Chloe and Lowain were there for Tokyo because they just seem like Shibuya and Harajuku characters.
Yeah, they really
Uh,
are though.
I mean, this is true. But like, let's go take a look at. I'm gonna just
Hey,
take a look at Luane for a real
he
quick.
does give hype, and she does extend hype on CA though.
That's what they do. All right, we found it. We found the synergy. The word hype. Because yeah, rizzing up somebody else doesn't really work because she takes her buffs with her. And what style is she, DJ?
Special. I had to look it up because I don't have her.
Right. So she's special, which means that she gets the purple buff, which I believe is uplift and supplemented damage.
It
Neither
is.
neither of those really matter that much for her.
Hey, uplift
The
matters.
uplift
She
does
wants to.
matter. You're right. You're right. The supplement damage to herself, it doesn't though. All right. Well, we tried.
Yeah, well, if only she was Kolu and had hitting stuff.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, so glad to see Chloe. I enjoy that character. She showed up. She was not like distracting at all. It made perfect sense for her to be there, especially since, like we said, the first cast reveal. The reason they didn't show her was because she had new art, so that was one of the things there. But it was like she was so natural for this kind of event that people sort of questioned her absence. You did that last week.
I did.
Yeah.
Also, I also like so I'm looking at the last time that Chloe was printed,
Hmm.
7 years ago.
That's been a long time. How old was Tomi Miyu for that one? Was she 17 or something?
She was 16 when she first played Chloe.
For the R version of Chloe, yeah?
Yep,
Yeah.
that was 2016. It's
Dang.
been a while.
Yeah, so she was like 17 for SR Chloe. Anyway, cool character. I am excited to brew with her once I actually have one. But we get that. It's fairly Odd Parents, right? Where this is where I'd have put my blank if I had
Correct.
one. Yeah. This is where I'd put my Chloe if I had one. So
I will
anyway.
do the Street King combo later.
All right. So the other thing that was major for this week is yesterday's release of the second set of Magna 3 fights. So we now have Colossus and Celeste. Oh, let me join this Celeste real quick. But yeah, Celeste, because Unite and Fight is just around the corner. It's 1 month away. People are slamming this one the hardest. Uh,
And we got new
it'll slow
weapons as
down.
a result.
Yeah, but we got new weapons to play with. And so let's go take a look at them. Reset. We want to look at Dark, Omega Rebirth weapons. So let's start with Dark. The first one to talk about is the Fist. The Fist was what everybody figured it would be. It's the same for everybody. So you get the 20% Exalto. You get the attack level 3, and you get Vivification, which rewards you for how many Celeste-based weapons that you have. I don't know if there's anything to say about this. Every element's gonna get them, and the thing that makes this different in Dark is that Dark is not going to get a Chichiri for the first cycle, so you can't get the 10% to Mistfall from that. Dark also doesn't have its Disciple passive yet. So,
Yeah, that's true, huh?
so it is a little bit behind on Exalto. On the other hand, Dark Primal also doesn't have Exalto yet. So I'll see you in 2 weeks and we'll check on this again.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. Things I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to just play for United Fight Magna and do 95s all over and over. So
I mean,
it doesn't matter to me. I start off with like 60% health.
that's fair with the Agastia staves.
Yep. If I
Yeah,
actually wanted to fight this thing, I'm going to switch over to Hades.
yeah. Um, so yeah, the melee thing, that's fine. The real things to discuss here. So we've got the dagger, which is critical hit and healing cap, and then
Yeah, for
garrison.
Crosity, I had to look it up, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
this is a new one, I think, isn't it? Or crit and healing cap?
I think it is. Let me double check.
I know that when I looked at it, I went, "What is this?" So anyway, so this one basically, given that it's Celeste modified Garrison, is a pretty clear one of for I need Garrison to live. And by the way, in hard fights, healing is also good. So it doesn't have a real attack mod. It only has crit. So that's something that will keep it from taking too many slots. But it is still a tool that Dark needed. I actually have put away some of my Majestices as well. And it's like, all right, I guess the
I found their Crosity.
what is it?
Feeny staff.
Oh yeah, that's where that is. The skill that actually takes effect even if it isn't the main hand. It's just that
Yeah. You're not
You,
gonna
you're not gonna
you're not
be.
gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, but yeah. So Dark Celeste has defense options now with the Forsaken Agostia, with the new whatchamacallit, the new dagger. So that's good.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that it gets is this Sabertana. It got the same thing that Lumi did, but in this case, it gets access to tempering.
Yeah, that's huge.
That is huge. It is a Celeste modified skill sup, so you can say goodbye to Agonize, and um, it has a small crit on it instead of Agonize's, I think, small attack, was it?
Small normal attack.
Yeah. So, uh,
That helps you get to 100 if you're running the Agostia staffs.
which a lot of
But
people will.
you don't really need to hit the 100 though.
Right. But I mean, it's there. With enough just smalls, they add up pretty quickly. So, two of these to get to the tempering cap, and then like three Agostia stabs, I believe, is the 100% crit point. But anyway, really solid. Really solid set that came out for Celeste. They got the defense one, they got the skill damage one, and they got Exalto. All of them usable.
I like how they all have different, and they all remove a buff on CA. Is the dagger heals the party.
Hmm.
The fist hits debuff resistance to the enemy, and the katana blinds.
Dark Katana, I feel like will never.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
I already know. I
Yeah,
already
yeah,
know that
that's
their
fair.
fists exist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The let's see here. Dagger had a free to play slot open because like Cortana doesn't cut it in the year 2024.
As Cortanas will kill you.
Yeah. Uh, and so the dagger I can see getting use as a main hand. The melee.
Well, here's the thing: removes one buff is also kind of good.
It is. Yeah, yeah. So I think the melee one can also see use. That's another one to keep in mind. All right, on the
Because we know
Colossus. Oh,
how many buffs these stupid bosses keep putting on themselves
it's true.
that are too many.
Yeah. All right. So we move on to fire. Here's Colossus Kane. It's the same. It's Exalto, attack, and vivification. You're gonna want these. Good
At least it's
job.
a cane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Canes.
Hey, the next Uniting fight we get Celestial Staff, so that's the next thing coming in. Um,
Also, I like it increases singed.
that's its CA effect.
CA is hit the defense and singed.
Nothing wrong with that. Good free mana diver option. It's not going to supplant the Exo Dagger probably, but it is an option that is available. All right. Other things. So we've got the Bomber. This is our Colossus Axe.
It looks so sick.
It's farmable tempering and small might. Oh man, this is so nice.
Yeah, I wish I was Colossus.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is exactly what Fire has had issues with for a very long time. Um, and yeah, they got it. Tempering and attack, and not crit. All right. Last thing to look at is the Buster. The Buster has healing cap, HP, and debuff resistance. This is going to go great with the Swords of Extinction. The Extinction Blade? Extinction Blade. Anyway, really good. You'll want one or two for playing Fire in hard content. So, there it is.
Yep. Fortunately enough, on the other side, on Primal, they actually have their own healing weapon in the first place. So,
Hmm.
which is also the one that's tied to also medium tempering. But
Hmm.
sometimes you need the healing.
Yeah. And then having it attached to HP is also very good. The debuff resistance is hard to notice, but it'll come through sometimes.
It doesn't work in the Celeste fight, that's for sure.
Celeste really, really hates Veil. Um,
No, it makes you really love Tico. That's what that
yes,
fight really does if you're doing
yes.
that solo. Which come past the United fight, you're gonna need that.
hmm
Also,
So,
also
mhm.
Colossus is a giant jerk.
Colossus, by the way, shoutouts to the glow up that this thing got art wise. Um, it was anyway. These updates that they got as summons are the same that everyone else got. So
Yeah,
big hit of fire damage, which once again will help you uh, do anything that requires single big hits. Um, yeah, nothing to complain about with the fire and dark options, honestly.
I'm gonna complain about the fights, man. Why is he so beefy?
he is a that is a beefy boy. That
Yeah,
defense
and
is
also
real
also
high.
this is not V2. I wish it was V2 so I could block. You know what's really annoying? See my entire team dead at 5%.
AOE dimensional cleave, and how many times does it do it?
It does it 4 times in the fight.
Whew! Yeah, so my full auto dies, like a couple characters die, and then um, Maria Theresa comes in, and so that brings everybody who's alive back to full, and then um, gives enough like defense that the next dimensional cleave they just survive. That's not what everyone can do.
Well,
Not everyone can
yeah,
do that one.
he ignores defense boosts. It's on the text of Dimensional Cleave.
Okay.
The
Okay.
text says 2000% fire damage ignores boosted defense.
Hmm. So for some reason, it only does 60,000 or so to me, and I lived through that. Um, I'm not sure where the other reductions are coming from. I'd have to really look. It's probably, to be honest with you, coming from Hasalia somewhere in the like mountains of text that she has hidden. But anyway.
This dude. Uh, my full auto, I don't think exists because it'll die before around 5%,
Mm, yeah.
and he
The
is not the raid that people are going to right now.
people are going, but not at the same rate. Like you see like 5 or 6 people in most of them, but you don't see the full 18 like this, where it's like if I try to join any of these, it'll tell me the raid is full.
Oh yeah, I know. Also, that raid is also kind of annoying because you're always zombied. Why for the effect that says can't be resisted or dodged, can't be duration cut, and also you can't resist the zombie. You
I
have to
pressed too many
just
buttons.
you,
I
you
got
have to
greedy.
Tico.
Yeah, fair enough. I actually haven't seen what happens past turn 4 or so in this fight because of just how yep, raid battle is full.
Oh, I've done a solo of it.
hmm
Tico is amazing because because of her CA.
Yeah, the solo that I did of Colossus was um it was Dragon, Gabriel, Europa, but not in that order because Europa should never be in the last slot. And so having Gabriel and Europa cap the amount of fire damage that you can take is pretty huge for those AoE dimensional cleaves. Anyway, not everybody's gonna have that. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
Wave of Despair is a 95% trigger.
hmm
And then if you somehow miss that, the other triggers will do a malediction to you.
Oof. All right. So anyway, that's that. The next set of Magnas, so the last set will be Yggdrasil and Leviathan. That's next month, but they've given us good reason to look forward to that. Like Leviathan players have been suffering for quite a long time, and looks like Magna 3 is doing its job. It's bringing everybody to the modern era of Granblue Fantasy in terms of grids and what you have available to you and options. and so you're not just um I guess I either CA with Europa Harps or I have Oberon.
You know what? I can't wait for him to hold me under, and I can't get rid of that.
Oh, it's gonna be just like any given underwater level of Sonic the Hedgehog. We're just gonna be like, great, great. No one has ever liked an underwater Sonic the Hedgehog level. Just underwater levels in general. But anyway, um, we have, let's see,
Uh, I
four
feel like there's
hours.
like
Oh,
a,
go ahead.
there's like a really big jump between these last raids and this raids. Last raids were like super easy. You didn't have to think if you want to do like a full auto because eventually these raids just don't move.
Hmm. Yeah, Celeste's thing where if you have debuffs on you, your damage is capped. Whew!
Yeah, I noticed my 340Ks.
Yeah. Um, the full auto that I have for uh Colossus, I believe, was just the usual Kengo things,
Yeah, so we have a
but it
conditional
takes
rate
forever.
still.
Yeah.
You need to you have your skill damage reduction. Your skill damage is reduced
Yes.
while he has stacks.
Yep.
And how to beat stacks is four or
Hits.
more hits of 2 million in a turn.
Yeah. So among other things, summons will still do enough damage if they are amplified enough. But mostly it's either CAs or if you have an amazingly strong grid, assassins. So Anre and Paila have been actually pulled out a lot for this fight. Uh,
And meanwhile, Celeste is hit like 30 times, I think.
30 times either of autos or 30 times with skill. It doesn't matter which one. Either of them will take a stack away. So characters like Utsusemi and Toyen, for example, or characters like Skillnot. So Holiday Illnot has been seeing a ton of use in these things. But yeah, it's a much easier condition to fulfill on Celeste than it is to fulfill on Colossus because Celeste's natural mechanic doesn't actually care how much damage you do. She just cares that you've done a hit at all. And so,
Granted, it gets really annoying later on when you're blinded.
yes, true, very true.
You just hope that you get putrefied and helated. You don't care about your HP bar. You're trying to land hits.
Oh, actually, I get halated all the time, and then I immediately die to being a zombie. That's what happens.
Yeah, the zombie thing is. Well, I know it's Celeste, but but
Yeah,
why? Why is it constantly on me now?
yeah.
Oh,
All right.
I also don't forget my favorite part. It's still Celeste. 25% heals you.
Good old Celeste. Thanks for the heal, lady. I've always been a pal.
Yep, I needed. I'm now dead because I was zombied.
Yeah. All right. So, um, there isn't really that much to speak of coming in the next week in terms of game updates. Like sometime this month, we're getting a new axe and gun class called Shieldsworn. The art looks sick, but we don't know anything about it other than it's half Cavalier, half Spartan, and it
I
uses shields.
mean, I mean, the Spartan part sounds cool.
At least it took the good half of Cavalier,
The gun.
the gun. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So anyway, but yeah, like this is the end of Golden Week. Our closeout to Golden Week is going to be the Kakuzuke check, Volume 3. That's in 4 hours from the time of this broadcast. I'm gonna stay up for it.
I
Uh,
only have one meeting tomorrow, so I can stay up.
yeah. So I mean that's gonna be fun. I'll be streaming and I'll be live streaming and translating it. Pocky might not be home, he said, for it, because that is at 6 p.m. Japan time, and he's gonna be out getting dinner, so he probably won't
Yeah,
be
that's
home.
fair.
Yeah, he probably won't be home. But just totally random things. While people have been doing all of these Celeste and stuff like that,
I wish I could join these.
um, I have just quietly been entering the Siegfried mines. So shout out to our girl Friday for making these way faster on one day out of the week.
I mean, it's Friday.
This team absolutely rocks, but only one day out of 7. But anyway, so that's that. We will see you guys next week. It will be the first of many reruns of Tales of Arcarum. So they're addressing the New World Quartz shortage, and we'll talk about Militis uncaps. But yeah,
Until then.
until then, everybody, thanks for coming. Have fun. If anybody wants to, then you can join me back on this stream when we're watching the Kakuzuke check. I promise shenanigans and silliness. All right.
And if you can join Celeste, good on you. These are hard right now.
It'll
Do it during reset
yeah.
easier.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks, and we'll see you again next time. Later, all.